Yeah, you read that right. Today we're going to be taking the worst shotgun I've ever owned and turning it into the ultimate survival tool. Let's get right into it. Now, a quick little disclaimer for YouTube. This is not modifying the gun in any way that makes it more dangerous, makes the fire rate go up, or anything like that. This is completely compliant with all of YouTube's firearm guidelines. But before we get into the build, I'm going to show you this gun. This is a Hatfield 12 gauge break barrel shotgun, and it's the worst gun I own. Now, what can make this gun so bad? Well, maybe it's the fact that the break barrel is pretty stiff even after oiling it. Maybe it's the fact that this hammer takes the might of Thor to cock back, and maybe it's the fact that it kicks like a mule and has no recoil pad whatsoever. This gun is, without exaggeration, the worst gun I've ever bought. This thing was only $120 or so, and I still regret it. But today I'm hoping we can turn that around and make this the ultimate survival tool. We're going to start by removing this back stock. Now we've gotten this tough piece of plastic out the way, we're going to toss that to the side. Next up, we're going to unscrew the stock. Okay, got the stock out. We're going to set this screw off to the side. So we've got the stock off, and this is what we're going to be modifying for the most part. What I want to do is make this a hidden compartment that could hold a ton of survival gear. All right, so we're using this little sander, and I'm basically going to get in there and widen this thing down. Safety first. We don't want to be inhaling anything bad. I don't want anything hitting my eyeballs. All right, we seem to have widened it a little bit, but I don't want to get these edges too thin, so what I'm probably going to do is instead take a big drill bit and drill a second hole here, and I don't know, I might leave that one alone. We'll see. Dude, they made light work out of it. All right, we got a good hole there. I'm gonna put one more here just for good measure. All right, now that we've butchered the back of this, let's go turn it into a survival kit. First things first, we just have to screw back on the stock. You can include all kinds of different items in your survival kit. For me, I'm going to start off with a small Swiss Army knife. As well as a way to start fire, I'm using a ferrocerium rod and a little mini striker. But if you have space for a lighter or something, that could be even better. I have a little bit more space, so I'm also going to include a little emergency whistle. These things can come in handy. I also put some fishing line, some hooks, and weights into a little bag that I can store in there. That way I have a way to catch fish. The next item I'm putting in is something people tend to neglect, which is medical supplies. I've got a couple bandages as well as an alcohol pad. Now the alcohol pad could also be used as a fire starter. What I'm doing here is kind of rolling them up so they can slide into that little circular hole. And this other one I'm just going to kind of crumble up and shove in there as far as it can fit. Now that we're jam-packed full of supplies, we need to seal it up, but the original recoil pad isn't going to fit, nor would we want it to, because we don't have a way to unscrew it out in the wild. But I found this nifty universal recoil pad from Amazon, and I decided to use that. That's going to be an easily removable way to protect my shoulder and seal up this survival kit. But there is something that I haven't put in the back that I want to still add to the gun, which is cordage. So I got some paracord, and I'm wrapping the entire handle of it. And even though aesthetically it's one of the ugliest things on this gun now, it's actually going to be one of the most useful because you can never have too much cordage. I'll seal up the ends with a lighter, that way it doesn't come loose. And with that, I'm finally done with the build. So there you have it. We have a perfectly ugly and disgusting looking survival gun. But this would probably be one of the most effective guns to use in a survival situation. And why is that? Well, first of all, that's basically all the moving parts you have to worry about. You've got your hammer, your trigger, and the action to break it. If you drop this thing in mud, you throw it in water, pretty much anything, this is going to take a beating and it's going to be okay. A pump action shotgun or a semi-auto shotgun have way too many moving parts and you're not going to be able to repair it in the field. with this thing, as long as that firing pin's working and that hammer's cocking back, you should be pretty good. Another cool thing is, with a break barrel, you can just kind of fold this thing in half. It stows away a lot easier. You can put this under the seat of your truck. You can put this in a backpack. You can put this in a lot of different places, and it's not going to be nearly as bulky as a full-size shotgun that's got a big barrel on the end of it. And walking around like this is a lot more cumbersome than just walking around like this. So that's one thing that I like about a break barrel. Has this changed my opinion of this shotgun? Yes, and only because in this one single scenario, this gun would be better to take out in the field than, say, one of my more expensive guns or a good shotgun. Because if this thing's going to be in the dirt, if I'm going to be swimming with it, if there's going to be like a whole bunch of wear and tear, this cheap break barrel shotgun is going to be a lot better for it. And I'm not going to have to worry about ruining my good guns. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what kind of stuff you'd be putting in your buttstock. I kind of went with like a hodgepodge of different things. You could put shotgun shells, you could put medical supplies, you could put all kinds of different stuff. And what other attachments would you add to this really cheap shotgun to take it the extra mile? Let me know down in the comments down below. Hold on, you really thought I was about to close the video without doing a little bit of shooting? Let's go blow some stuff up. Fair warning, things are about to get a little bit unhinged. Sadly, it's not hunting season right now, so I had to use a little CGI to simulate what this gun would look like in action. I also wanted to see just how fast I could shoot a shot, reload, and shoot a second shot. It wasn't that fast. Bro, could you hold it still? Come on, man. But I wanted to see if I could catch a fish using a shotgun as a fishing rod, and let me tell you, this is the heaviest and most uncomfortable fishing rod I've ever used. But even though the shotgun wasn't a good fishing rod, I was able to use it to bushcraft a fishing rod. As it turns out, the shotgun's perfect for cutting down logs. After that, it just took another shotgun shell and then a few whacks here and there to knock off all of the limbs on the side, and I had a perfectly functional fishing rod. And if this was a survival situation, I would not be going hungry tonight. So with dinner secured, this works not only for hunting, but also for fishing. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Got a little unhinged there at the end, but this gun's starting to grow on me. I think this is like the gun guy equivalent of a project car, just like an old rust bucket that you know you're not really gonna use for anything serious, but it is fun to kind of drive through a pasture and tear it up and stuff and not feel too bad about it. So at the end of the day, this is just a dirt cheap shotgun that I modified to basically be the Swiss Army knife of guns, and I kind of like it now. If you enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like or subscribing if you haven't already. If you have, thank you very much. I appreciate the support. And as always, Jesus loves you, I love you, and have a great day. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Oh. See, alternative, you could wait for the fish to bite and then blast them.